Chapter 3 of Sales of Immovable Property, Section 54 to 57. Sale is a transfer of ownership in exchange of the price paid or promised, or part paid or part promised. This definition is referred to Section 54 of Transfer of Property Act 1882. Dash is a transfer of ownership in exchange of the price paid or promised or part paid or part promised. Sale. The definition of sale contained in Transfer of Property Act in Section 54. Section 54 of Transfer of Property Act deal with sale. Under Transfer of Property Act 1882, sale is a transfer of ownership. The term sale in Transfer of Property Act defined in Section 54. Transfer of ownership of immovable property in exchange of price paid or promised or partly paid or partly promised is called as sale. Within the meaning of Section 54 of Transfer of Property Act, sale does not include none of the above. According to Section 54 of Transfer of Property Act, a contract of sale of immovable property, a contract that a sale of such property shall take place or terms settled between the parties. Tangible immovable property of value of this amount or upward can be transferred only by the registered instrument. Section 100 rupees. Sale under Section 54 of Transfer of Property Act. Transfer of ownership in exchange for price paid, price promised, price partly paid or partly promised. The term sale in the Transfer of Property Act 1882 has been defined under Section 54. Which one of the following is not an essential element of the sale? Payment of price in cash. Which one of the following kind of mortgage is not included in Section 58 of Transfer of Property Act 1882? Simple mortgage. Which section under Transfer of Property Act 1882 discuss about the right and liability of buyer and seller of immovable property? Section 55. In Transfer of Property Act, right of seller and buyer are provided under Section 55. Which one of the following is not a duty of the seller? A disclose patent defect. To disclose patent defect. Transfer of tangible immovable property for the value of rupees 100 can be made only by the registered instrument. Which is not correct. The liability of seller is that he is not to answer to the best of his information all the relevant questions put to him by the buyer in respect of the title. In case of transfer of property, the seller is entitled to rent and profit of property till the ownership thereof passed by buyer. In which one of the following section of TPA Act doctrine of marshalling has been provided? Section 56 and 58. Marshalling by subsequent purchaser is provided under TPA Act in Section 56. Section 56 of TPA Act deal with marshalling by subsequent purchaser. Which one of the following section of TPA Act is concerned with doctrine of marshalling? Section 56. Doctrine of marshalling has been provided in which one of the following section? Section 56 and 81. Which TP Act, which court has jurisdiction to discharge the encumbrance of the sale? A high court in exercise of its ordinary and extraordinary original civil jurisdiction, a court of district judge within local limit and whose jurisdiction of the property or any part thereof is situated. Any other court to which the state government may declare by notification in Gazette to be competent. Chapter 4 of Mortgages of the Immovable Property and Charges. Section 58 to 104. In which section of Transfer of Property Act the provision of mortgage is defined? Section 58. A in lieu of debt from B, hand over the possession of the house to B with the covenant to transfer the property in the favor of B, but with the provision for retransfer in case of repayment of debt. This type of mortgage is known as English mortgage. Which one of the following mortgage can be made without writing? Equitable mortgage. In which one of the following mortgage the mortgagor is required to deliver the possession of mortgage property to the mortgagee? Under TP Act, which of the following mortgage with value of rupees 100 or above is not compulsory registrable? Mortgage by deposit of title deed. Section 58 of Transfer of Property Act defines mortgagor, mortgagee, mortgage money. Under which one of the following section of Transfer of Property Act English mortgage has been defined? Section 58E. The mortgage in which, without delivering possession of the mortgaged property, the mortgagor binds himself personally to pay the mortgage money is known as simple mortgage. The mortgage which involves absolute transfer of mortgage property with provision for retransferring is English mortgage. Where mortgagee is entitled to enjoy the benefit of mortgaged property in lieu of interest on the debt, the mortgage is called usufructory mortgage. A right to redemption arises in the case of mortgage in which one of the following kind of mortgage is not included in Section 58 of Transfer of Property Act 1882. Simple English mortgage. A mortgage which is not simple mortgage, a mortgage by conditional sale and usufructory mortgage, an English mortgage, or a mortgage by deposit of title deed is called an anonymous mortgage. Every sale accompanied by agreement to reconveyance of the property would not constitute mortgage by conditional sale. This statement is related to which section of Transfer of Property Act? Section 58. In which one of the following mortgage the mortgagor bind himself personally to pay the mortgage money? Simple mortgage. Under which one of the following section of Transfer of Property Act provisions regarding English mortgage is found? Section 58E. Where possession of mortgaged property is not delivered to the mortgagee, it is called simple mortgage. In case of usufructory mortgage, the mortgagee is placed in possession. He has a right to receive the rent and other profits till the mortgage money is paid. In the case of usufructory mortgage, the mortgage is placed in the possession and has a right to enjoy the rent profits until the debt is paid. Whether a mortgagee under simple mortgage can take possession of mortgaged property? No. Where the mortgagor delivers the possession of mortgaged property to the mortgagee authorized him to retain such possession until the payment of the mortgagee money and receive the rent of profit occurring therefore. Such a mortgage is called usufructuary mortgage. In a simple mortgage, possession of mortgaged property is remain with the mortgager. Which one of the following is not essential element of mortgage as defined under section 58A of Transfer of Property Act? There must be a promise to transfer of interest. Which one of the following mortgage does not require writing and registration? Mortgage by deposit of title deed. Dash is defined as a security for repayment of loan mortgaged. Which one of the following provision of Transfer of Property Act related to the usufructuary mortgage? Section 58D, where the mortgagor bind himself to repay the mortgage money on the certain date of transfers the mortgaged property absolutely to the mortgagee, subject to the condition that the mortgagee will retransfer it and the mortgagor upon payment of mortgage money. The transaction is called English mortgage. In the case of usufructuary mortgage, the mortgagee is delivered the possession and authorized the appropriate rents and profit occurring the property. Which kind of specifically mention a kind of mortgage in Transfer of Property in 1882? Equitable mortgage. Which one of the following is a usufructuary mortgage? None of the above. Which statement is not correct about mortgaged? There is a transfer of ownership in the mortgage. In the case of usufructuary mortgage, the mortgagee is placed in the possession and the right to receive the rent and other profits till the mortgage money is paid. Section 58A of TP Act define mortgage, mortgagor, mortgagee, mortgage money, mortgage deed. A mortgage by deposit of title deed is called equitable mortgage. Which one of the following is transfer is valid? An unregistered usufructuary mortgage for ₹99. Whether simple mortgage must always be registered? If the value of property is more than 100 rupees. How many type of mortgages are there in section 58 of Transfer of Property Act? 6. Handing over the possession of mortgage property is required in English mortgage. Under the Transfer of Property Act, personal obligation to pay the mortgage money occurs in simple and English mortgage. The right of redemption can be exercised by paying the mortgage money to the mortgage outside the court, depositing the amount due mortgage money in the court regular suit for redemption. From the following, who cannot sue redemption by the mortgage property? The mortgagee. Who among the following person not redeem the mortgaged property? The counsel pleading in the case against mortgagee. Right to redeem the mortgage can enforce by following: a suit for declaration that mortgage property is redeemable. The mortgagor right to redeem the mortgaged property acquires at the time after the mortgaged money has become due. In which section of Transfer of Property the doctrine of consolidation is incorporated? Section 61. The mortgagor who has executed two or more mortgages in the favor of the same mortgagee in the absence of contract to contrary be entitled to redeem any one of such mortgages separately and any two or more of such mortgages together. Which one of the following paid is correctly matched? Right of usufructuary mortgage to recover the possession, section 62. Mortgaged property in possession of mortgagee has during continuance of mortgage receive an accession upon the redemption in the absence of contract to contrary who shall be entitled to such accession. Mortgager. In the case of mortgage lease, mortgage obtains a renewal of lease. The mortgage upon the redemption shall have benefit for new lease. Whether a mortgager can make lease of mortgaged property? Yes, with certain condition provided by Transfer of Property Act. A suit to obtain decree that mortgage or shall absolute debar the right to redemption of the mortgaged property is called a suit for dash under the Transfer of Property Act. Foreclosure. Under Transfer of Property Act 1882, redeem of foreclosure is available under which one of the following mortgages? Mortgage by condition sale. Right to foreclosure of sale has been provided in which one of the following section of Transfer of Property Act 1882? Section 67. Which is the right of mortgagee and not the right of mortgager? Right to foreclosure. A suit obtaining a decree that mortgager shall be absolute debarred of his right to redeem the mortgaged property is called suit for foreclosure. Within the meaning of provision of section 67 of TP Act, the mortgagee redeems by suit are foreclosure. A right to obtain a decree from court that the mortgager shall be absolutely debarred of his right to redeem the mortgaged property is called right of foreclosure. Right of foreclosure under TP Act is available in the case of mortgage by condition sale.